Así es, a Luis Díaz no deja de perseguirlo el fantasma de Sadio Mané. Los hinchas de Liverpool no paran de hablar o compararlo con Sadio Mané. Y digamos que el zombie para Luis Díaz es Mohamed Salah porque hace tantos goles por ese lado que todos los que juegan, así sea centro delantero o por la izquierda, quedan mal porque Salah le va tan bien, pero pues es uno de los mejores jugadores del mundo en este momento. Así que es difícil comparar a Salah con cualquier jugador en el mundo. Así que el fantasma y el zombie. Pobre Luis Díaz, lo comparan constantemente. Aquí les traigo las reacciones de los hinchas, lo que han dicho en estos días después de que se anunció de que se iba a sentar Luis Díaz a charlar con Liverpool sobre el contrato. Entonces están hablando de que si se debe quedar o no. Hay una variación, es una compilación. El otro día les traje un solo canal, el Realmente TV, aquí les traigo varios. Este jueves les traigo a Tom Little hablando en el canal de Don Hussam, hablando de este mismo tema y es video solo de él porque van a ver todo lo que dicen. Mejor, ¿saben qué? Les voy a dar una previa. Aquí está.
We've got Luis in the summer months and Lewis in the months. That's what we've got. Luis, the fantastic little techie Colombian winger, beats his man, dangerous, threatening. When it gets to the cold, dreary, dark winter games, I've got Lewis, who wouldn't look out of place on a League One pitch at times.
Wow.
Ahí está otro avance de lo que les voy a traer este jueves. El otro día les traje un pedazo, hoy les traje otro pedazo. Esperen todo el video completo de todo lo que dice Tom Little, que es bastante controversial y no lo quiere Lucho Diaz. No olviden suscribirse, darle like al video, recuerden que el pulgarcito me ayuda mucho, le dan a la campanita les avisa cuando sale nuevo video, es rapidito, bajen, eso ayuda mucho, el pulgar ayuda muchísimo. Gracias a todos, suscríbanse, es gratis, a todos los que no saben eso, es gratis suscribirse, así que suscríbanse, quiero llegar a 8000, me ayudan, sería buenísimo. Gracias a todos, a los que comentan, yo les escribo, usualmente les escribo, o sea, si no es la misma noche que yo pongo el video como ahora, sino al otro día o 2 días después, pero eventualmente yo les escribo algo, ¿ya? A menos que ustedes hayan empezado una charla larga, entonces ahí ya no me meto, pero usualmente les contesto, así que esperen mi saludo por ahí, espero sus comentarios y gracias por ser respetuosos, todos los comentarios han sido muy respetuosos, aprecio eso mucho. Bueno, no hablo más, los dejo con el video, nos vemos en el video de Tom Little muy pronto y hay que estar preparados porque dice cosas fuertes como se dieron cuenta. Bueno, nos vemos muy pronto.
It does look like Liverpool and Luis Diaz are going to start negotiating a new deal, which is brilliant because I've said all the way through, I don't understand these links to Diaz going away. I've never understood them. Why would we want to get rid of a player who is done very well for the club, who always gives his all, who's loved by the fans, and gives us two brilliant options on the left side? And competition is a good thing. So for me, Jota and Darwin could be, maybe moved on. That's my take on it.
I think Diaz was hyped up a fair bit at the beginning part of this season. He seemed to be having a really good season and he has tailed off. He has been used in the number 9 position, which, you know, he's not his. But I think you can get younger, you can get better out there right now. I don't think he's lived up to what he was billed to be, you know, the Sadio Mane replacement. I don't think if you were to compare their careers that just stats-wise that he comes anywhere close to Sadio Mane, in my opinion.
I do rate Luis Diaz. I think he's a really, really good player. I think all the kind of main links of him going to like Barcelona or Saudi, those kind of links have kind of died down the past couple of weeks. There was a period where there was constant links with him going Barca, Saudi, etc. So there's probably some truth to those rumours, but now he's probably kind of leaning towards a stay at the club. I think Liverpool kind of leaning towards that as well. Now, I don't mean as a disrespecting, but he's not quite Sadio Mane. I think he's a really, really good kind of player, but he brings a different kind of style to Sadio Mane, and I think Sadio Mane is probably one of the best players I've ever seen play for Liverpool, and replacing him is just a difficult challenge. I think the only player I can think of was Kvaratskhelia to PSG. Like, if Liverpool got in on him, then that kind of made sense, but when you look around the world, left wingers, left inside forwards, I mean, there's not many better players than Luis Diaz or Cody Gakpo, so maybe you don't even extend his contract, you just let him, you know, stay on for another year, 2 years. I think there's 2 years left on his deal, and you just run it down and maybe even let him go on a free, and maybe by then there's like a new left wing and new left forward that could come in, take the realm. But I mean, I get it from the club's perspective because there's not many other top left forwards that you can kind of bring in, and if you do bring them in, they're going to cost a fortune, right? So having him stay for another couple seasons makes sense, but you kind of worry. You give him a big long-term contract, big money, and his legs kind of go, right? That's a concern. But yeah, keeping Diaz for at least another season makes sense unless there's like a big glaring market opportunity. And I think Diaz is a top player. I definitely think he's one of the best forwards in the world. So yeah.
So I've been on this train for so long now, but selling Luis Diaz would actually be the wrong thing to do this year. It wouldn't make sense. If I look at buying a left winger this summer, I want it to be an elite high-end left winger. I think we all do, don't we? If they're not attainable, I look around what is under the elite level that is equal. Because I would put like Diaz and Gakpo under the elite level. So if you go around the market, what's as good as them two in the market that's as good as them or an upgrade on them? So if there's none, you keep what you got, in my opinion.
So I put a poll out today on Twitter, Gene. Do you want Luis Diaz to stay? Then I'll give you my thoughts. But let's see what the fans said today. Over 5,500 votes, 81% said yes. Now, I think if I put that poll out probably a month, 4 or 5 weeks before, I think that would have been maybe neck and neck, maybe just in favor of yes. I think it makes sense in terms of what he's on at the moment, Gene, that he's on practically peanuts from where he could be. 2 years left on his contract. How old is Luis Diaz? 28, 29 now? 28, turning 29. Wow. Gene, I'm generally happy with his performances this year. I think he's been one of the best left wingers in the league. Who's been better than Diaz on the left-hand side? Anyone stick out?
Not
We all
really.
go, huh?
Not
So,
really.
in terms of his performances, do I have a problem with him at the highest level? Yes. Do I want an upgrade? Who doesn't want an upgrade on the left-hand side? I think we can. One of the problems that we have, especially on the big day, when we come up against PSG and we come up against fullbacks like the quality of Hakimi and Mendes, like I'm going to give Salah a pass because in his day, he could go past Mendes on a consistent basis. But he's changed his game. He's evolved as an elite creator, elite goal scorer as well. But on the left-hand side, if you're not going to have dynamic pace on the right-hand side, you need dynamic pace and quality on the left-hand side. And although Diaz and Gakpo have had good seasons, I don't think they're those players who can go on the outside on a consistent basis. So what do? We have to bring an upgrade if we do go and get a cheaper striker.
Do I want him to stay next season? I'll be honest with you, Asim. No. I
Do
want to
you
sell
want him
him.
to stay?
I want to sell him.
Really? Okay.
I want to sell him. I want an improvement. I can't.
Okay.
Yes, we get Isak, Tika. I get
Would
it.
you accept that? Would you accept that
I'd take that.
right now?
I would take
And
that
sell
right now.
and sell. So you got a younger version.
I'm more in terms of Diaz. You know what? I think it's time we let go. I think he deserves a contract. He's probably going to go and get it. If I'm honest, unless we're willing to pay him 200 grand a week, which I can't see happening.